Okay. Hello guys, I hope you guys are having a great summer vacation, but here's my organic chem video essay for AP Bio. I'm going to break this into two parts, small and big. To start off with small, we have the organic chemicals. Organic chemicals are basically compounds. Carbon, basically C, is the backbone of life. Basically, a carbon has 4 valence electrons, allowing up to 4 other molecules to bind to them. So they are like this starting, the bone. Yes. So most organic compounds have a skeleton of carbon. Depending on the length of the carbon, the chain is a different organic molecule. So, for example, methane is 1 carbon and 4 hydrogen bonded to 1 carbon. So, I think that's about it. Move on to the large molecules. We call these macromolecules. Basically, we have several monomers that are bounded through covalent bonds that lack water to make a polymer, which would, for example, be carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. So to start off with, we need to know how they synthesize or break down. First, in synthesis, which is commonly called as dehydration reaction, it means that the monomers are bonded through covalent bonds lacking water. Basically, a hydrogen hydroxyl bond is given and taken. Most of this is done by enzymes. So for breakdown, we call this hydrolysis. Basically, it's the opposite of synthesis. You break down using water, basically. So hydrogens and hydroxyl are taken and given again, and it becomes 2 separate molecules. To move on to the 4 groups of macromolecules, as I said before, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid. To start off with carbohydrates, we basically have sugar or starch. Their function is energy or structural support, such as cellulose. Their monomer is called monosaccharide. It has a normal C6H12O6 structure. And the polymer would be disaccharides, which are like sugar. So basically it would be monosaccharides, which are like sugar. The disaccharides would be something else. Polysaccharides would be maybe starch. And to move on to proteins, we have, we call this peptide. Basically, it's in your muscles, immune system, or the cell structure. They could be enzymes, they could be signal proteins or transporting proteins. This is made up of an amino acid, an amino group, a carboxyl group, and an amino acid which is 20 different. So you would have 20 different amino acids. And then the polymer of a protein is called a polypeptide. So thousands of amino acids come together. Okay, as for the third group, lipids. Lipids are basically fats. They store energy, insulate like insulin, cell membranes or hormones. We can't exactly state what the monomer is because it's too diverse. The polymer could be triglycerides, which stores energy, which has a structure of a glycerol and 3 fatty acids. A phospholipid, which is like the cell membrane that has 2 fatty acid tails and a glycerol and a phosphate group. And then we have steroids, which are basically hormones. As for the last group, nucleic acids are basically RNA or DNA. They store and transmit hereditary information like yourself and offspring.